Alrighty, so let's take it one more step. Alright, you did the determinants. Now we're going to solve the system. This is where you put the t column in for the x and the y, and then find your determinant. Does that make sense? All right, so let's write our array. And so we have 2, 2, 1, and 7. And then we have 4, 1, 3, and negative 1. And we have 6, negative 1, negative 1, and 0. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so to find, yes. Oh, yep, you're right. -4, -1, 3. Thank you, because it would have totally screwed the whole thing up. Alrighty, am I good on that now? Okay, so now to find the determinant, I use 2, 2, 1, 4, -1, 3, 6, -1, -1. Agreed? Okay, now to find the determinant, I could do my cross out the rows and then multiply and then subtract and add the 3 times over. Or I could pull out my handy-dandy calculator, which you might want to do, because the handy-dandy calculator makes this super easy.
Is this one you have?
I have this one. What do you have? Huh?
Yeah, 84.
Is it an 84? Yeah. Okay, so here's what you do. You go to our matrix, because that's where we do all our stuff on it, and you go to the math, and what's the very first thing you see?
Det.
Which is short for determinant. All right, so, and if you have an Inspire, you can just type in DET and then put your matrix in. So then whoops, don't hit that. So I'm going to hit matrix, math, and enter. And then I'm going to go to a 3 by 3. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a button. I don't say calculator.
What button? It's the alpha inverse button. See where you have them? Thank you. All right. And then I put in my matrix. And look at that. My D is 54. Heck of a lot easier than doing all your...
Such a cheat. Oh. It's great.
You gotta learn how to appreciate the work that the calculator does for you. Okay? All right, now let's find, oops, and I have a typo on here. That should be D of Z. Okay, let's find the D of X. So this is going to be just like the 2 by 2, where I'm going to take my total row and replace it. The other 2 rows stay the same, but I replace it with, so 7, -1, 0. And then 2, 1, -1, 3, -1, -1. Everybody with me? And then I go back and get my handy dandy calculator. And I just copy and paste because the original's up there, so all I have to do is replace the 1 row. And I get that my D of X is equal to 27. Good?
Why didn't you tell us this before?
Because you have to learn to do the math to appreciate and love your calculator.
Love you.
All right, now let's do our d of y, which means I'm going to replace my y column. So my 2, 4, 6 stays the same, my 1, 3, negative 1, and replace my y column. And again, I'm just going to go up and copy the original, so I only have to change my y column. And I get that the d of y is equal to 162. Everybody with me on this? Okay. So then I rinse and repeat for z. So 2, 4, 6, 2, negative 1, negative 1, and 7, negative 1, 0. And go down and copy. Sorry.
How did you go?
I go up to the very first one. On mine, I can just go back up to the very first one and hit enter, and it'll just put it back into the thing for it. Okay? Which gives me a 0. Yes, yeah, thank you. Okay? And then what was Cramer's rule? Cramer's rule just said that x is going to be my d of x, which was 27, divided by my determinant, which was 54, which is going to give me 1/2. Huh? So then the d of, or y, I use my d of y, which is 162, divided by my determinant of 54, and that means y is equal to 3. And z is going to be 0. So the ordered pair gives me 1/2, 3, and 0. Good. So my thought is, since you've already found the determinants, we can go back and find what the d of x is, and the d of y, and d of z, and then solve the actual system. Sound like a plan? Do we need to do one more together?
You know what order, like, so remember how you gave us this paper with, like, the letters on it?
Uh-huh.
You know what order that goes in for?
Same order.
Okay.
It's always going to be, because it's always going to be, this is basically your x column, your y column, your, oops, helps if you can see, your z column, and that's like always your total column.
Okay.
So it's going to go, they're always in that same order. Does that make sense? Okay. Do you want to do another one together, or are you good to practice on your own? You think you're good? Oh,